Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you all had a great week. Welcome back to Kids Church. So last week we ventured into the book of Exodus and we started to learn about Moses. And remember, a few weeks ago, I had another book from Mrs. Laporta and we learned a little bit more about Jacob. Well, there's a whole story about Moses in here when he was a baby. So I thought you would like to know the background of Moses because you learned about how he helped get people out of Egypt, but his story as a baby is really interesting. So we're going to take a step back this week and learn about Moses as a baby, and then we'll keep going in the Jesus Storybook Bible next week to learn more about Moses and what he does for the people as they leave Egypt. Okay? So, fearful of the growing Jewish population in Egypt, the Pharaoh resorted to a cruel and drastic remedy. He ordered every Jewish male child to be killed at birth. To save her newly born baby from this fate, a Jewish mother placed her child in a basket, sealed with pitch, and left it in the rushes by the river Nile. When this had been done, the baby's sister, Miriam, stayed nearby to watch what would happen. So there's that picture of Moses as a baby getting placed in a basket and put into the river. The Nile River, remember that was the one that God turned into blood last week as one of the plagues? So that's the river, okay? Soon after this, so soon after Moses was placed in the river, the Pharaoh's daughter came to that part of the Nile to bathe. She caught sight of the basket floating among the rushes and sent one of her maidservants to fetch it. As soon as the princess saw the baby inside the basket, she knew that some Jewish woman had done this to save her child from the Pharaoh's cruel decree. Looking down at the helpless little one in the basket, the princess was moved with pity for his plight. Watching all of this, Miriam was encouraged by the expression of sympathy she saw on the face of the princess. So she approached and suggested that she get a Jewish woman to nurse the child. The princess agreed immediately, and Miriam went off and brought her mother. And so, unknown to the princess, it was the baby's own mother she employed to take care of the child. When the baby had grown older, his mother brought him to the princess in the royal palace. The princess adopted him and called him Moses because, she said, I drew him out of the water. Thereafter, Moses lived in the palace and was educated as an Egyptian prince. Moses never did, however, forget his own people. Indeed, as time passed, he found the harsh treatment they received from the Egyptians more and more difficult to bear. One day, he saw an Egyptian overseer cruelly beat an Israelite. Furious, Moses sprang forward, seized the Egyptian, and killed him. To escape arrest, Moses fled to Midian in Arabia, where he found work as a shepherd. Many years later, as he tended his sheep, he would receive God's call to return to Egypt and lead the Israelites out of their bondage to search for the promised land. So that call was the burning bush. Remember from last week when God burned the bush, but it wasn't actually burning and he spoke to Moses? There was that call. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about Moses because we have a couple more stories with him. I hope you all have a great week. Miss you a lot. I'll talk to you soon.